Assalamu alaikum, ladies, and welcome to the Balance and Thrive podcast series. I hope you guys are well. Today's session is going to be about detoxing the right way. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Faria, a certified health, wellness, and nutrition coach with a special interest in reversing insulin resistance using quantum and circadian principles. I've helped women gain success with losing weight, gaining more energies, balancing their hormones, improving their gut health, improving fertility, improving their blood glucose response without supplements or calorie counting or portion restrictions or any intense workouts, all through one-to-one and group coaching with my signature program. Just a short disclaimer before we begin. The information provided to you today is for educational purposes only. It's not intended to diagnose or cure. If you have a serious medical concern, please reach out to a qualified practitioner. So today, as we take a closer look at detoxing, which has become something of a buzzword in the natural health world, and it's something that many people think that they need to focus on, especially at this time of year. Now, if we actually look at research, many people tend to make New Year's resolutions at this time of year, or, they decide to make a change in their lives at this time of year. And research actually shows that 80% of these decisions made by people fail by the time February actually hits. And when it comes to dieting and weight loss, which is also quite a huge trend that tends to kick off at this time of year, the odds actually even get tough. The Boston Medical Center reports that 45 million, and they're talking about Americans, and I do think that it would probably not be far off to where the Brits are. 45 million go on diets each year, right? 50% of people actually turn to fad diets. And why is that? Why do people go on these things that they probably know aren't going to be great? It's just that promise, that hope of losing weight quickly without having to count calories, without exercising or actually making sustainable lifestyle changes. And it all sounds so tempting. But let's be real. There isn't out there a pill, a powder, a detox protocol, a supplement, or a superfood that can burn fat like this. Just not out there, no matter what anybody tells you, no matter what you see on social media. If your lifestyle is all over the place, dietary changes will be that much more difficult, right? And that's why you always hear me say it's dietary secondary to lifestyle. Quick fixes will not work in the long run, right? And this is what fad diets are all about. They're built on these shortcuts, not sustainability. If you actually want real, long-lasting results on all aspects of your health, then you need to focus on building healthy habits that actually work for your body, not somebody else's gimmick. But yet, year after year, people fail for this. Now, there's one thing to also understand, right? That January, when we are still in winter, right? And some of you may even be experiencing snow. We've certainly got a cold snap happening for us now in the UK. But January isn't the best time of year to embark on a great big change in our lives. It just doesn't make sense. Still winter, still dark for most of the day, still cold, right? Focusing on what you're supposed to be doing at this time of year is better for you than that sudden change. And that will be sufficient for you. If you actually focus on the benefits that winter gives us in terms of the cold, in terms of the dark, you will get to where you want, inshallah, in terms of gaining good health, bidnillah. Because that sudden burst of movement or that restrictive dietary change, like, say, for example, eating only plants or drinking green juices or smoothies, is totally against our biology. So don't be fooled into that whole new year, new you stuff. Your body is going to be more aligned to make a change in spring. So what exactly does detoxing mean? Well, one important factor to realize is that we don't actually need anything external to be able to do this optimally. Our body has its natural detox systems, and it makes more sense for us to optimize them. So that would be focusing on things like your breathing, your digestive system, sweating. You actually have all the answers within to really get a good detox. Those external things like green juices, eating salads, starving yourself, restricting yourself, punishing yourself even, just not necessary. Now, for the detox to actually work, you have to actually build your redox function first. And I would say 95% of the people don't know what this is. And most health influencers either are also ignorant of it or its importance, or they just fail to mention it. So redox stands for reduction oxidation. Essentially, what it's talking about is improving your body's ability to collect electrons. Now, when that ability to do that is impaired, it's a clear sign that your mitochondria is dysfunctional. Working on building this up is like working on building up your internal battery charge. Because let's face it, right? Anyone out there who wants to do a detox, a cleanse, a reset, that kind of thing, they're not actually people who feel great, right? People only want to do something like that when they need a boost. So with that being the case, that would mean that their internal battery is already weak. I don't think you would even think twice about taking your phone on an unfamiliar journey with a low charge. So why do you do that with your body? Right? No one is going to be saying, I feel wonderful, I feel great, let me do a detox. People just don't say that, right? And if you are in this state already of feeling like your body needs a boost, going into a detox is just going to drain you further. And for some people, it can cause more issues than what they actually started with. What's also important to bear in mind is that one of these cleanses, detoxes, that kind of thing, or you just do a one-off thing, right? It doesn't address the reason why you ended up in this place needing a detox. So if you don't actually tackle the habits and the lifestyle that got you there, you're going to spend the next 11 months doing the exact same thing, and you actually never get out of that loop. A better way to detox long term and to actually have a real impact on your health would be to look at your habits on a daily basis. Look at your relationship with light. And by that, I mean natural and artificial. Are you getting sufficient natural light? Are you limiting sufficient amounts of artificial light at night. Look at your movement. Are you having sufficient movement throughout the day? Are you sedentary most of the time? Look at your relationship with technology.
Mine's bad.
And look at your relationship. And look at your relationship with those around you. And more importantly, yourself. Because sometimes a major source of toxicity comes from within us, ourselves. So by this, I mean the things that you say to yourself, the thought processes that you have, the output that you are putting in the world. This is enough for us to keep us busy, in fact, rather than looking at, because I feel like a detox that someone does is just a band-aid solution, right? And yes, there are places and times for things like this, but get the basics right first. And a lot of people don't have the basics right. And the basics are probably the easiest thing for you to start working on, right? It isn't about intensity. It's all about consistency. Those small, boring things that you do every single day compound and have an effect on your overall health compared to that one thing that you do intensely and then forget about it. And how many times has this happened to you where you've started working out and then you've just given up, where you've started making dietary changes and then you've just given up? This is why a lot of people end up not having optimal health, because they can't remain consistent. Main reason why a lot of people can't remain consistent is because what they're trying to do is too complicated. Healthy changes are not complicated. It just requires simple steps in your daily routine. And as tempting as it sounds to just drink that green juice or just have that supplement or that tea that you think is going to help you lose weight or to achieve that detox in inverted commas, know that something like this is not a one and done kind of approach. Getting healthy isn't trying to find that hack or that superfood or that supplement that's missing in your life, because you're not deficient in any of those things. That's what you need to realize. You're not deficient in any supplement. You're not deficient in this hack or this superfood, right? What you need to be doing is switching what you're doing on a daily basis to finally start igniting those self-healing components of your body. And this is what lifestyle changes do. And this is why I go on and on about them, because when you start shifting your lifestyle, you start healing your cells, you start healing the mitochondria, and that is what's going to make a difference. And so the sisters that I work with who get results really quickly are doing that inner work, right? They are shifting their lifestyle to start healing themselves, because Allah has given us a body that wants to heal. Allah has given us a body that can heal. We have everything inside us that can help us overcome those chronic illnesses and the pain and the difficulties that you're going through with your health. You just have to start working on them, inshallah. So I hope you guys gained some insight today into some practical things that you can start thinking about or you can start implementing to transform your health. Be proactive, not reactive. Jazakallah khair for turning up to the session live. I appreciate you ladies being here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.